So I think when I was growing up, one of the things I really struggled with was trying to imagine what STEM professionals actually did all day, with the assumption that, you know, if you study science, you're going to be stuck in a lab coat and you're going to be stuck in a lab with some test tubes or something all day. So I thought it might be good for each of us to sort of give an idea of what a typical day is like for us. So Kate, do you spend all day in your lab, or what's a typical day for you?
I spend all day in a bunch of different labs. I work mostly in a laser lab, and what that basically means is that I can't sit down. No, well, yeah, I work in different labs, but as a PhD student, I have a lot of flexibility, and that's kind of a carrot and a stick. So, you know, like the carrot is that I can do whatever I want. The stick is that I can do whatever I want. So now I have to figure out what I want, and how that's going to, you know, end up with how that all leads to the end goal of actually finishing with a doctorate. What you find out during the PhD is that it's basically just project management with one project, and the team you manage is mostly just you and your collaborators. So like the projects that I've been working on, I've had to collaborate with a bunch of different scientists and engineers, and some of them are at UC, some of them are actually overseas at the Technische Universiteit Delft in the Netherlands. But yeah, so I have a lot of different days. At the moment, I'm in a real experimental stage, so it's a lot of lab work. I don't usually wear a lab coat though, so wear laser goggles, but not a lab coat.
So Millie, if you're juggling a master's in a startup company, do you even have a typical day?
I don't know how to answer that question, Nicola. Every day is so different. I can try. So just like Philippa though, it's hard because, you know, there's no boss, so you wake up and you sleep when you want. But yeah, there's days that start a bit later, but then end a lot later. There's days that start early and then end a lot later as well. There's no other option. It's one or the other. So in terms of the business, because it's a startup and I've never done a business degree, at the moment, a lot of my time goes into learning the business side of things. So literally meeting up with my mentors, learning about things like how to do financial forecasts and P&Ls and all these scary words I'd never had to hear before, things around marketing and yeah, all that business side of things. And then probably every second or third day I'll have a meeting with my co-founder. She's based in Taranaki, so there's a lot of communications with her like that. Or there's a lot of just picking up the phone, oh my God, this happened. Not very structured. But also I'm managing a student intern at the moment at Massey, who we've gotten through a Callahan program. And so she's working on the R&D of our product at the moment. So I'm actually at uni a lot, just overseeing that, supervising her, giving her feedback on the product development side. So that's probably from the business side of things. Oh, sorry, and one more thing is writing applications for grants is probably a big part of it because we're quite early stage, so we have to get a lot of fun, we're trying to get funding. So literally changing my pitch deck every other day, sending it to potential investors for grants, all of that. So that's a big part of where my time goes. For the master side of things, really depends. So I'm still in the experiment side of things. When I'm doing my experiments, there's days I'll be in the micro lab for like 3 or 4 days in a row, literally just going like this with a pipetta and little petri dishes. Not my favorite part of the job, but then I get some friends around and we'll be there till like, I've been there till midnight, I've been there till 1 a.m. just doing it. Also because of my experiments, sometimes you're in there in the morning taking a sample at uni at 3 p.m. at midnight again. So there's a lot of diversity from a master's point of view as well. Like it's not the same. A little bit more, I think you can choose how you want to do things at master's level. So, you know, it's your schedule, you can plan it how you want. And that's why I've been able to do it with my startup, you know, being able to plan my day to have them both work. Also, the part of the master's is obviously the literature review, as Philippa was talking about. There's a lot of writing, research that I've been doing as well. But that's where I'm at the moment. And then after that, I'll have to do a lot more writing of my thesis. Another important part of the master's is meeting with my mentor, which I love. My supervisor, Steve Flint, who's a senior microbiologist at Massey, and it turns into from a catch-up meeting to a what happened in your weekend most of the time. So I love actually going and seeing him. So yeah, that's probably a bit of an idea on what a typical day for me is like.
Fantastic. And how about you, Kirsty? As head of new product development, you must be incredibly busy, I'm guessing?
I am so fortunate to be surrounded by a team of amazing people and work within much wider project teams. So I have just super interesting days because I get to talk to all of these interesting people who are doing lots of different stuff that I might know a little bit about or I might know nothing about. I've got a big team here. I've got about 20 people on site with me, and I have responsibility for the site itself. We've got a lab and a pilot plant facility, so there's quite a lot to do in terms of just making sure everybody's safe, making sure that the people have what they need to do their jobs properly. And I'm also a product area expert in liquid processing. So I get a lot of questions, a lot of specific questions. How do we do this? What's happening here? Oh my God, I've broken it. Those sorts of things. It is. It's busy, but time goes really fast because you're just so engaged in what's happening, and we have a lot of forward momentum in the work that we're doing, especially at the moment. And so it's really easy to sort of get swept away with what you're doing and forget about some of the things that you're actually supposed to do. You guys talking about finances and budgets and making sure that we are keeping our projects on track and also that people are going to be paid and we've got all of the health and safety and all of the human resources stuff up to date as well. So quite complicated, but really interesting and really rewarding.
Yeah, fantastic. And how about you, Cassandra? Are you able to tell us about any of the projects that you work on?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm Millie, managing Three Waters project now for Manawatu District Council. For Three Waters, if people don't know, it's like water supply, wastewater, and stormwater. So interesting enough that I studied food process engineering back to Massey, but now I'm actually doing more civil engineering related work. So I guess it's myself to provide this like transferable skills. So that provides me some flexibility when I choose the type of career I wanna be in after graduate. So on a typical day, I will probably spend 40% of my time on site and 60% just in the office. So as a project engineer, many times you would manage multiple projects, from 6 to 4 projects. So now I think the project I'm having, building a water reservoir and building 3 pump stations and some wastewater main and water main upgrades in Manawatu region. So for you really have to be a really good organizer and really good communicator, and you have to know how to set the priorities because you spend 99% time communicating with different stakeholders and different parties. I would have like different meetings with the contractor, internal project team, also the residents each day. So fairly busy. I've also spent time writing the technical reports to record all the observations on site, all the testing I have done for quality control purpose. Also just writing reports to council regarding my project plan and my project progress. So it's fairly rewarding and fairly busy. I really enjoyed it.
Fantastic. So if you want to know what I get up to, I posted a whole bunch of videos on the Massey Uni social media pages. So if you check out their stories, you can have a look behind the scenes at what I get up to on a typical day. But at the moment, we're 2 weeks away from semester starting. So for me, it's all about organising stuff. So we have all of our courses are taught by teams of staff. So it's about communicating with each other, communicating with technical staff to sort out things like workshops or labs. And then also keeping an eye on our enrolment. So I'm the major leader for chemical and bioprocess engineering. So double checking everything's going well, everyone's enrolled in the right courses, answering any questions, that sort of thing. And the other thing is, so academic staff teach, but we also do research projects. So there are teams of people on these different research projects. And so it's keeping updated on what's happening, writing reports so that we can give those to our funders or the companies who we're doing the project with. And then things like funding applications. So lots of writing again. I think writing is probably one of the key themes we've all been talking about. It's about working with people and communication. Really, those skills are really important.